everyone, my name is Rachel. Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited about this video. So today is Saturday, April 25th, and that is the official start of the weekend smutathon that Lainey and Riley are hosting. I will put both of their channels down in the description below. I always look forward to another round of smutathon because it's always just a fun time, and this one is a bit different because it's only going to span 2 days. So it's just today, Saturday, and tomorrow, Sunday. They've done a 24-hour smutathon before. I actually have a vlog for that, and I will also link that up in the cards above. That was a fun time, but I was kind of stupid about my TBR for that one because I read 3 full-length novels in the span of 24 hours, and I definitely should have picked novellas, shorter stories, things like that. So this time I'm gonna be smart, and most of the books on my TBR are going to be novellas. First, I am going to talk about the book that I'm currently reading that I actually started yesterday, and that is Scandalous by LJ Shen. This is book 3 in her Sinners of Saint series. Book 1 is actually Vicious, which I do own a physical copy of because I loved it that much. I read this for the last round of smutathon, which was an entire week, and that was really fun. I read some really great books for that round, and I loved how my reading vlog turned out for that one as well, so I will also link that up in the cards above. But yeah, this is the first installment. It is absolutely amazing. This whole series centers around this group of guys. They are all best friends ever since high school. They were like the rulers of their high school, and now they're just running this really successful, I don't know, some kind of financial company, something with investments, I think. So this book specifically centers around Trent, who is a single father to this young girl named Luna. Luna's, I think, 4 years old, and I think she's also a selective mute because they've talked about how she's capable of speech, but she just chooses not to. And so Trent is definitely dealing with all of that with his daughter. And then the heroine and his love interest is this girl named Edie, who is actually 18. There is an age gap here. She's 18, he's 33, so if you're not a fan of age gaps, definitely don't read this. But it definitely doesn't read cringy or anything like that to me. I mean, she is of age, and they meet because Edie's father is a partner in the firm that Trent and all the other guys work at, and this is kind of an enemies to lovers-ish. I mean, they don't like really hate each other, not like in Vicious where the two main characters actually despise each other and they both had good reason for hating each other, I guess you could say. But this one is kind of like they challenge one another. I mean, I do like the banter between these two characters, and the chemistry is really good. I'm about 55% of the way through. I'm not like loving it, I'll be honest. I think I would give this like a solid 4-star. I think I'll be able to finish that by like the early afternoon or so. And then I have like a lot of miscellaneous novellas and things like that. There is one book that I'm definitely going to read probably today, and that is Theirs for the Night. I believe that's the title, by Katie Robert. This is going to be my first Katie Robert book, which is really exciting because she has a lot of books that I've been wanting to read for a while. This is the optional group book, so you don't have to read it, of course, but I really wanted to. And this is an MMF romance, which means male, female. So that's fun and different. I haven't read a lot of MMF romances before, but the ones that I have read have been a fun time. So I am looking forward to this. It's just a short novella. Then after that, I do have a couple of novellas by Lauren Blakely. She did this like standalone novella series. The first one is called The Engagement Gift, and then the second one is called The Virgin Gift. And these are both just short, smutty novellas. A really fun time. I've never read from this author either, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. And then another book that I definitely want to read for this readathon is Hearts in Darkness by Laura Kay. This is book 1 in a duet. Don't know much about the plot of this one, but I know that Brie from In Love and Words, I will link her channel up in the cards above. She's by far one of my favorite romance booktubers. She has raved and raved about this duet, so I'm excited about at least reading this first one for the readathon. And of course, I can't not do a smutathon without reading a Tessa Dare work. So I am reading His Bride for the Taking by Tessa Dare, which is one of her few novellas, and I'm pretty sure this is a standalone novella. The ebook is currently free on Amazon, so definitely go check that out if you're interested. So I think all of that is going to keep me pretty busy for the next 2 days. I do have a couple more books that I have on my TBR in case I read all of these. I will definitely update you guys later today, maybe tonight once I'm kind of done reading for the day, but we will just see. Hey guys, what's up? It is much later on Saturday. Let's see, I think it's just about 10 p.m. and I have finished 3 books today. And the first book I want to discuss is Scandalous by L.J. Shen. I did talk about this book earlier in the vlog, obviously, and I really enjoyed this. I'm gonna settle on giving it a 4 stars. As the book went along, I did really come to enjoy Trent and Edie's characters, and I really liked the side characters that we had. There's Luna, who is Trent's young daughter. I think she's 4 or 5. And then there was Theo, which is Edie's younger brother. I really liked what their characters added to the story. I definitely enjoyed this one more than Ruckus, which was the second book in this series. I gave that one 4 stars as well, but honestly, thinking back on it, it's probably more of a 3 or a 3.5. And then Vicious, of course, which I talked about earlier in the vlog as well. I just feel like everything about this first book is just top-notch. The writing, the characters, the relationship between Vicious and Amelia. Whereas with this book, the romance didn't really blow me away. I thought the smut was good. It wasn't great. So yeah, settling on a 4-star rating for that. And I also read 2 novellas today. The first one that I read is The Engagement Gift, which is by Lauren Blakely. Then I also read Theirs for the Night by Katie Robert. This was the optional group book, like I said earlier. And I enjoyed both of these. I'm giving them 3 stars each. So these are both novellas that are centered around an MMF romance or a threesome situation. And The Engagement Gift is about this engaged couple. We have Finn and Lily, and for an engagement gift, Finn asks his friend Jake to join them in a threesome, and that is what that entire novella is about. And then in Theirs for the Night by Katie Robert, this girl Meg, she goes partying with her best friend, and they go to this club, and she meets these 2 really hot guys, and she goes home with them and has a hot threesome. So yeah, I'm giving these both 3 stars because they weren't anything that blew me away. They were both just a really fun time. If you're into this kind of smut, I would definitely recommend both of these. And then I do really want to check out the Wicked Villain series that Katie Robert has been writing. For those of you guys that may not know, this Wicked Villain series is essentially Disney movie retellings, but they center on the villains getting together with the heroes and heroines of the story. So yeah, this definitely really intrigued me, and a lot of booktubers that I follow have been reading this series and loving it. So I do have the second book in that series called Learn My Lesson, which centers around Hades, Meg, and Hercules, so that is an MMF romance as well. But I don't think I'm going to be able to get to that this weekend specifically, but I do want to check it out after reading Theirs for the Night because I did really enjoy Katie Roberts' writing style. Yeah, like I said, it's about 10 p.m. right now. I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break from reading. I don't know if I'm going to read any more tonight or if I'm just going to get a good night's sleep and kind of have a fresh start in the morning. But the next novella that I definitely want to get to is His Bride for the Taking by Tessa Dare, and I am so excited to get to that one. Yeah, I will update you guys at some point tomorrow. what's up? It is Sunday afternoon right now. I didn't really feel the need to update you guys earlier today or any of that, but I did want to talk about the 2 books that I have read today. So I started His Bride for the Taking by Tessa Dare last night, and I finished it earlier today, and I really enjoyed this. I am giving it 3 stars, and I'll get to that in a minute. But just to give you a basic synopsis of this novella, this centers around Mary and Sebastian. It is basically a marriage of convenience story at the very beginning of this novella. Mary is about to get married to this other guy, but the guy doesn't show up, and so Sebastian, who has been like a longtime family friend of theirs, decides to marry to essentially kind of keep her reputation intact, and so she won't be ruined or anything like that. And Mary and Sebastian have been attracted to each other for like years because they did kind of essentially grow up together. Sebastian was also Mary's older brother's best friend, and the plot goes on from there. I did really enjoy this. I was going to give this 4 stars, but at the very end there's a conflict that comes up that I thought was just kind of stupid and rushed and just didn't really need to be there. I mean, I get that romance novels need to have some kind of conflict towards the end before the 2 characters really end up together, but yeah, I just thought that this was kind of unnecessary, so I did lower my rating to 3 stars. And then the other book that I read today is Hearts in Darkness by Laura Kay. This is actually book 1 in a duet, and this is about these 2 characters, McKenna and Caden. They get trapped in an elevator together for like hours in pitch black darkness, and so they just kind of get to know each other. And this one was pretty intense. There's definitely a lot of chemistry going on between McKenna and Caden from pretty much the start. I'm giving this 3 stars as well, although I don't want my rating of any of these novellas to turn you off to them, because if any of the plots appeal to you, I would definitely recommend reading them. But over the course of these past few days, I have realized that these kind of insta-lust novellas don't really work for me all that much. I think they're fun every once in a while for me personally, but reading one after another, I just realized I personally prefer a lot more development of characters and development of the relationship between the 2 of them and a buildup of tension. And I just find it so interesting that I'm still learning so much about my own personal reading tastes, and something that I've realized is that I much prefer really slow burn romances to novellas like this, where the characters essentially get together within like the first 20% or so, and then the rest is just them having sex. So 2 really slow burn books that I really loved are From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata. This author is like the queen of slow burns. I mean, this is a chunky book. It's like 500 pages, but you really get that character development, and you fall in love with not only them as individuals, but them as a couple. For those of you guys that don't know, this is a figure skating romance about this guy Ivan and this girl Jasmine, and they end up having to partner together in pair skating, and then a relationship does develop between the 2 of them, but not until like the very last like 50 pages or so. And then the other slow burn that I really enjoyed was Marriage for One by Ella Mays. This is a marriage of convenience story about Jack and Rose, and they do make a joke about how they were doomed from the start because they have the same names as the main characters from Titanic. This one is also really chunky. It's like 500 pages, but once again, we have great character development, great buildup of tension, and so when they finally do actually get together at the end, it just makes it all that much more satisfying. I did still enjoy all the novellas that I read this weekend. I would actually recommend all of them because they were a fun time, but at the same time, they're not my personal cup of tea. These are not the kind of books that I would want to read one after another, if that makes sense. And I've also realized that I am the type of reader that I can't necessarily read books of the same genre one after another, because I don't know, I just kind of get bogged down by the stories. I get bored. I do like to switch up the genres with every book that I read, between like, let's say, a YA fantasy to a sci-fi to an adult romance to a YA contemporary, things like that. That's just how I like to enjoy my reading the most. So even though it's like 4:30 right now, I think I'm going to end this vlog because I definitely don't feel like reading any more smutty novellas. I am a little burnt out. Makes me kind of sad because I thought that I would have like the time of my life this weekend reading these little novellas, but yeah, it didn't work out quite the way that I thought it would, and that is totally fine. And I know a lot of other booktubers that loved these novellas way more than I did, and I love that for them. That being said, that's going to be it for this reading vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that you would consider pressing that like button and subscribing to my channel, and I thank you in advance if you do. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!